Latest war on drugs is not being fought on dark street corners and in back alleys. Millions of Americans are getting their fixes from pharmacies and medicine cabinets at home and even online. Prescription drug abuse is so serious that President Obama has just launched an initiative to fight it. Joining me here is attorney Robert Shapiro. He lost his son Brent from complications of addiction. LA County's Director of Public Health, Dr. Jonathan Fielding. He researches drug abuse and he joins us as well. And we have Laura Sox. Laura is 19 years old, recovering from addiction to pain medication. She began using pain pills when she was 16. Her boyfriend at the time sold these meds. And Laura, how old were you when you started using prescription pills?
When I began abusing prescription drugs, I was 16.
16. And where'd you get them?
I got them from my ex-boyfriend.
Where'd he get them?
It was one of those things, don't ask, don't tell. Okay. I never asked, and he never told me.
And were you using other drugs in addition to pills, or was pills your sole preoccupation?
Pills were my primary occupation, but alcohol definitely aided that.
And what happened that led to you sort of hitting a bottom and want to get well?
Really, I just got to a point in my life where I didn't know how to deal with life, and I didn't want to feel feelings anymore. But I knew that there was so much more to life than that, and I didn't want to give up. So that's when I sought treatment from Fairbanks.
Let me ask you this. I'd like to know what it looks like from a young person's perspective. In other words, how do your peers look upon the issue of the use and abuse of prescription pills? Is it very, very casual? Or do they understand that these pills are potentially dangerous and addictive?
I believe everyone understands how addictive that they are. However, it's extremely casual as well because there's just a mentality of indifference.
Where do most kids get them? Do they get them from their parents' medicine cabinet, that kind of thing? Or do they get them from doctors? They get them prescribed?
No, for the most part, most people just get them from drug dealers off the streets, and where they get them, I don't know.
Dr. Fielding, you're studying this problem. Where are most kids getting these drugs?
Well, they're getting them several places. You're right. Sometimes they're getting them in the medicine chest, and parents should make sure none of those are left in the medicine chest. But they're also getting them from drug dealers. Because the drug dealers go in with fraudulent prescriptions, they doctor shop, they go to these pill factories and they get prescriptions and they then get them at $4 or $5 a pill for OxyContin. They sell them for $20 on the street, so it's a thriving business. And we have to rout out these, unscrupulous physicians and also the folks that are actually getting these prescriptions because they're the drug dealers.
How about the online pharmacies? Are they contributing to this? I mean,
yes.
Pretty much anyone can get anything online now, right?
Yes, there was a recent study by Columbia, a substance abuse program there, and found that about half of those half of the online pharmacies are providing scheduled controlled substances, and a significant percentage of those pain medications without a prescription. And in other cases, you can click a button, click a URL, and somebody will give you a prescription. In other cases, you can fax a prescription. So how easy is it to forge that?
I want to say something to the audience. And one of the liabilities of people coming to treatment is they share war stories. They share sort of how they get their pills. And really, a liability of treatment is they find all these different kinds of techniques out, how to go online. Don't get any ideas. That's what I'm saying. We're talking about what not to do here because it is so serious, just because it's available online. And by the way, parents, know that your kids could do this and look for that stuff on their histories. It's a very, very serious problem. So just had to say that. Robert, did your son get stuff that way? Do you know? Or?
You know, Drew, I think we're all fooling ourselves. You can get drugs anywhere, any place, anytime, and now for almost no money. Yeah. It is so readily available. So the problem is both on the demand side and on the supply side. When you're dealing with prescription pills, let's take OxyContin, which is certainly the most dangerous of the prescription pills and the one most abused. It is a drug that was made for people who are in stage 4 of cancer, in the most severe pain. Yeah. And yet, you can find doctors that are giving it out to their dental patients. It is one that when they give out a sample, instead of giving out 2 or 3, they'll give out 20. And so you're dealing with something that is highly, highly addictive and highly seductive. Why do people take drugs? They make them feel better.
Because they work.
What drugs make you feel better?
Opiates.
The stronger the drug, the opiate.
True.
So these are readily available. They're overproduced by the pharmaceutical companies. They're overprescribed by doctors. They're readily available by pain clinics where there is no scale other than, tell me on a scale of 1 to 10, Dr. Drew, how much is your neck bothering you from your auto accident? Well, if you put down a 0, maybe you'll get a Tylenol. If you put down a 10, you'll get an Oxycontin, or you'll tell the doctor, you know what really works for me? So we have 2 problems. Number 1, the pharmaceutical companies that are overproducing, the lack of regulation, the fact that people can go and shop from doctor to doctor. There is no federal control over people getting these prescriptions filled. We should have a system with Social Security numbers. You want to get a Schedule III narcotic prescription, give us your Social Security number. We'll track you and we'll send it to the DEA.
That makes sense. Laura, just a couple of minutes with you here. Do you think that educating kids and educating parents would have a significant impact on this? Is there just a lack of awareness?
Yeah, I think that's huge. I think mainly the informing the parents, because I think parents often want to be naive and they want to say that, oh, my son or daughter isn't doing that. They know better. But that's not the attitude with the teenagers today.
Yeah, I want to put a Lakota on that too. That, you know, when I've said this before in this program, when parents say "not my kid," that's the scariest words I ever hear a parent say. And I would challenge parents out there. And Laura, you tell me if you agree with me on this. Go ahead and look in your medicine cabinet right now and see if you don't have leftover painkillers, leftover sleeping pills from a dental procedure or an orthopedic something. Who knows? We treat these medicines very casually. And Dr. Fielding, don't you agree that really, in addition to regulation, educating physicians and whatnot, that educating parents to deal with this as a serious issue that they need to address with their kids is also a core issue?
It's absolutely critical, and part of it is that kids their life is too removed from their parents in general. So it's about the communication on a whole bunch of issues, of which this is very important, and then being truthful about what the implications are. Don't overstate them, but be clear, and take advantage. In the paper every week there's a story about prescription medication abuse and overdose and death. Take advantage of one of those opportunities to say, you know what, I just want to talk to you about this. I want to understand how you think about it. And let's talk together as a family. If you do that and you have straight talking, you're much more likely to identify it, to both prevent a problem and identify one in its earliest stages.
And Laura, you agree with that? What Dr. Fielding says, don't overstate it. Don't try to traumatize you or scare you, but just give you the facts. Is that what your peers are looking for?
Yeah, I believe so. And also, a lot of kids that I know of, they want help, but they are scared to tell their parents because they don't know how their parents will react. And also, there are 2 or 3 of my friends that they've told their parents, and their parents are like, oh, no, honey, it's not a big deal. You'll be okay. We'll just get the pills out of the cabinet.
Wow.
So some parents underestimate and undermine the issue.
Okay. Laura, thank you for joining us. That is a great sort of note to end with here in this particular segment, which is that if your kid is, and you're aware of it, and they're abusing pills, stealing them out of your cabinet, whether it's opiates or benzodiazepines, you need help. You need professional help. You do. Don't minimize it. Don't say, not my kid.